you all here. Let's go ahead and just take a couple minutes. Go ahead and get settled. Clear your space. Make sure you've got some room to practice, or you can roll out your mat. Grab your water. Get yourself dropped in and invested into this moment. I'm happy to see you guys here. How's it going? How are things going with the holidays? I know that this is such a busy time of year, so good for you for carving out some time to invest in yourself. I thought it would be nice to give us the chance to do that. Right now it's with all the holiday parties and trying to be there for all of our loved ones, trying to tie up all the loose ends as one year ends and another begins. It can be a lot. So I'm glad that we get to take the chance to just invest in ourselves today. And I'm especially excited that this yoga class is in celebration of my course I'm launching called Yoga Immersion. And Yoga Immersion is a course designed to help guide us deep into the heart of this ancient and holistic practice of yoga. And I'm just so excited to bring it all to you. I think it's going to help us address our whole selves holistically, especially since it starts January 8th and goes for 5 weeks every Sunday. It's a great way for us to kick off our new year, 2023, by really diving deep into who we are and who we are in our world. We're going to be going through an hour of vinyasa at every class, guided meditation, journal prompts, and some sound bath elements. And it'll be in St. Louis on the Hill at Personal Space Fitness, meeting from 11 to noon. And if that's something that you would be interested in, stay tuned. This will be our first sneak peek at kind of what we have to look forward to. But also you can go to my website, racheliscozy.com. That's RACHELIS as in Sam, KOZ as in zebra, I.com. And there will also be a link in the description of this video as well. So let's go ahead and begin today's practice. And before we get started, I wanted to pose a question. Who are you? Who are you? And the answer may seem simple at first, or maybe even answers may start coming to mind. For myself, gut reaction, maybe I would answer with, well, my occupation is, I'm a yoga teacher, I'm a healthcare provider, or maybe I would answer with relationship. I'm a daughter, I'm a partner, I'm a friend. But take that away and ask the question again. Who are you? And then take that away, ask the question again. And we begin to realize that this answer is shrouded in more mystery than at first we assumed. And the ancient yoga texts, the Yoga Sutras, gave us a roadmap through which we can explore the answer to this question. And they are called the 8 limbs of yoga. And these 8 limbs of yoga, I like to think of as 8 layers. And as we go down this map, we peel back more and more layers. And even if you're never ever heard of the 8 limbs of yoga, you may have taken this journey already if you've taken a yoga class and not even realized it. So for example, our third limb, our third layer, is called asana, which in Sanskrit translates to English to mean posture. So I bet you right now you're in a posture. Whether you're seated cross-legged on your mat or some other posture, you have a physical body. And today's practice will go through different postures like warrior two to peaceful warrior, and spend some time in a meditative posture, this third limb addresses our physical body. And perhaps if you have been in a yoga class before, you've heard the yoga teacher say, now focus on your breath. As we move through our postures, or we're seated in meditation, we're invited to dive deeper into our fourth layer of the 8 limbs, which is pranayama, or the breath. And as we focus on the breath, and we focus on this present moment, the outside world starts to melt away. We start to concentrate and are dropped in here now. We start to meditate without even realizing it. And all of a sudden, we're at our innermost layer. And perhaps you've had an experience here in this place, maybe in Shavasana, at the end of a yoga class, and you're laying there with your eyes closed. You feel that bliss point, where you no longer have to adjust anything, you're completely dropped in and present, and you're just a person, without even having to think about it, who's laying in Shavasana completely at ease. So if those take us from limb 3 all the way to limb 8, which is this bliss point, this point of samadhi, as the yogis call it, what are our outermost layers? What are layers 1 and 2? And that brings us to our practice today. So in our Yoga Immersion course, we will be addressing our outermost layer of these 8 limbs of yoga, and they are called the yamas. The yamas are 5 pearls of wisdom that help us to address our relationship to others, to our outside world. Because the ancient yogis believed that in order to dive into the core of who we are, we first have to examine how we treat others, but also how we treat ourselves. I believe that the portion of goodness we're able to serve to others is proportionate to the goodness that we are able to serve ourselves. So if we don't have our cups full, if we are not taking care of ourselves, we don't have anything to be able to pour out into others. And so through our course, Yoga Immersion, we'll take one yama, 1 week at a time, examine it, flow through it, meditate on it, and allow it to grow us. But for today, let's take some time to deal out a healthy portion of goodwill for ourselves. I think it's appropriate for this time of year as we're thinking about goodwill towards all people. So let's start today's practice in meditation. I think it might be nice to take Supta Baddha Konasana. So if you like, bring the soles of your feet together. Allow the knees to spread wide. Lay back down onto your mat. And maybe you leave the palms facing up. Or maybe you place your left hand on your heart, right hand on your belly. Take a couple moments to get settled here. And then when you're ready, close your eyes. Allow yourself to drop in. Feel the ground beneath you. Effortlessly supported here. A firm foundation beneath your hips, your shoulder blades. This posture of Supta Baddha Konasana. And now take it a layer deeper. Examine your breath. Draw it through your nostrils, down your throat. As it fills your lungs and belly, feel your chest and torso expand. And then let it go. The breath slips out the throat, out the nose, and you deflate. If your hands are on your chest and your belly, with each inhale, feel your hands rise. And with each exhale, they fall. take a couple rounds of breath together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. And then a layer deeper we go. Examine your thoughts. Almost from a third person perspective. What sorts of thoughts bubbled up for you as we began to talk about goodwill? Do you feel that you have goodwill toward others? Do you feel that you have goodwill towards yourself? In the corners of your mind, what sorts of thoughts bubble up when you think about others? Are they seasoned with compassion or judgment? And when we think of our self-talk, the inner dialogue we have towards ourselves, what do those thoughts seem like? What compassion do we have towards ourselves? Or do we oftentimes judge and condemn ourselves, say that we don't measure up? Let's spend a moment replacing that self-talk. Perhaps think of one good thing you could give as your self-compliment today. And perhaps, if there's nothing that you can think of, I offer one up to you. I am full of goodness. I am full of goodness. Whatever intention you'd like to set for yourself today, hold it there in your mind's eye. Inhale. And then exhale, let it dissolve. We can call it back to us throughout our practice. Gently blink your eyes open. Spin the soles of your feet flat. Knees come together. And here, laying on our back, let's begin our practice by wakening up the core. Bring the shins parallel to the ceiling. Also, our forearms, palms facing up. And then wrap your right leg around your left for a single or double cross. And then your right elbow underneath your left, as if we're coming into eagle pose on our backs. From here, inhale, draw your knees away from your elbows. And then exhale, curl up, tap those elbows to your knees. Inhale. Exhale, curl. Inhale, grow long. Exhale, draw up. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, curl. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Nicely done. Unwrap those arms. Keep the legs crossed. Shift your hips to the left and allow the knees to fall to the right. And maybe your gaze comes over your left shoulder for a spinal twist. Our core is our center of our confidence. So let's breathe some confidence into that compliment you gave yourself. On your inhale, come back through the center. Switch the cross of your legs. So now left knee over the right. And then bring your left elbow underneath your right elbow. Inhale, draw them away from each other. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, I'm full of goodness. Exhale, imbue it with strength. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, draws out long. Exhale, navel draws to spine. Inhale, last one. Exhale, make it the best one. And then inhale, unwrap your arms. Shift your hips out to the right and allow your knees to fall to the left as you gaze out over your right shoulder. And draw the breath in full and deep, allowing it to expand your belly. Nicely done, everyone. On your next inhale, bring the knees back up through center. And go ahead, start rocking forward and back along the length of your spine. Just give yourself a brief little massage along the length of your back. And then next time you come up, cross your ankles, flip over to hands and knees posture, placing your wrists underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Plant through those hands, all four corners, the thumb mound, the knuckle behind your pointer finger, and the blade edge of that hand. Then step your feet back. Plank pose, inhale, and then exhale. Hips go high. Downward facing dog. A couple moments here just to kind of drop in with your down dog, guiding those heels to the mat. They don't have to touch. You can walk your dog out by bending one knee at a time, keeping that seal of the hands, really pressing out of the floor. Inhale here. Gaze forward, and then exhale, bend your knees, and then when you're empty, step up or walk up, even hop up if you like, forward fold. And then take a couple moments here. You can pedal out your legs if you want, or just kind of allow yourself to fall into this forward fold. Waking up our hamstrings and stretching a little here. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands can come to shins or tent your fingers on the mat. Exhale, drop back down. Inhale, as you hinge at your hips, arms rise, gaze up. And then exhale, draw your hands to your heart. In prayer, here at the center. Inhale, arms swim up, gaze up. Exhale, fold in half. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands plant. Step back to plank. Lower to the mat, work through chaturanga push-up. Inhale, back bend, up dog, on the tops of those feet. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nicely done, everyone. We're going to turn that into a flow, our sun A's. Just to begin opening up, igniting that energy, building our heat. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, knees bend. Meet at the top of the mat, whichever way you like. In our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, hinge, rise, reach to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach it back up. Exhale, fold in half. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands plant. Step back. Lower in strength. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, hips go high. Nice. Couple breaths here for you. And know that if at any point you need to take some more moments for you, for whatever reason, you can take child's pose. There's no reason for you to push yourself past any limits you don't want to go. Or if your body needs something different today, that is your call to make. You are your own best teacher, and you should listen to that. Inhale, gaze up. Exhale, hips go high, ready to spring. Step up, hop up, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. fall back to the earth. Inhale, swimming high, reaching up. Exhale, hands draw down in prayer. Inhale, we reach. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, hands plant. Step back, lower. Inhale, collarbones spread wide. Exhale, hips go high. Nice. And still present here with our breath. Bringing all this energy into our body. The practice we're about to move through, all this energy into our intention. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, hips go back. Step up, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down and in. Inhale, time for a new thing. Let's sit back into chair pose. Arms reach, weight in our heels, floating those toes, bending those knees, tucking the tail. Feeling strong, feeling capable. Believing in ourselves, believing in the intention we set. One last inhale here. And then exhale, stand. Hands to prayer. Inhale, sit back again. Chair pose. Exhale, fold in half. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands planks, taking our vinyasa. Lowering in strength. Opening our heart. Sending our hips back, downward dog. Pressing out of those hands, feeling our firm foundation beneath our hands. Inhale, we lift our right leg to the sky. Drive through the heel, hips square to the floor. Exhale, right knee draws to the chest, shift forward to plank, and step that foot between your hands. Seal your back foot flat, so the toes of the left foot facing the upper left corner of the mat. And then on an inhale, lunge into that right leg and rise to warrior one. Arms in line with ears. Fingertips bright. Feeling strong. Feeling connected to the earth through both feet. Feeling our weight in between both feet. Feeling strong. And our gaze set like a laser at a point in front of us or slightly up. Inhale, and then exhale. Hands come down. Step back to plank. Lower. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left leg rises. Driving through the heel. Firm, strong. We reach with that leg, and then exhale. Step the left foot up between the hands. Seal the back foot flat, and rise to warrior one on the other side. I love these warrior poses for the focus they bring. Like a warrior has to be focused on the present moment when they go into battle. So do we. Sometimes our mind can be a battle. Sometimes it takes that one pointed focus to come back to the truth of, I am full of goodness. To fight back that negative self-talk that sometimes is tempting to fall into. But we can change the tide of our mind by committing to that focus of the good things that we know that we are. Inhale, reach. And then exhale, hands come down. Step back. Lower. Inhale, fill with breath through your back bend. Exhale, hips go high. Downward facing dog. We're going to turn this into a flow as well. Our sun salutation B. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, knees bend. Hips go back. And then we meet. Forward fold. Top of our mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold back to the ground. Inhale, sit back, chair pose. Exhale, stand. Hands to your heart. Inhale, sit down once more, chair pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach out through the crown of your head. Exhale, hands plant, step back, lower in strength. Inhale, fill with breath. Exhale, hips go back. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, right knee drives, step up between the hands, sealing the back foot. Inhale, brings us high. Exhale, hands come down. Taking our vinyasas in between, following the pace of our breath, allowing it to be our guide. We meet in down dog. On our inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, step that foot between your hands. Your inhale carries you high. Reach through those fingertips. Exhale, hands come down. Taking our vinyasa, wiping your slate clean. Inhale. And exhale. You meet downward facing dog. Good job, everyone. Couple breaths for us. In and out of the nose. One last inhale here. And then exhale, lower the knees to the mat. Find your hands and knees posture. Wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Nicely done, everyone. Inhale, reach that right hand to the sky. Spread wide through your collarbones. And then exhale, thread that hand underneath your left arm. And you can leave the left hand in front of your face here as you lower your temple to the mat. You can walk the left hand to the front of your mat as well. Feeling a stretch in the outside of your right shoulder. And breathing. Dropping back into these moments of stillness. Feeling the heat we created, the energy, the power that we have. Our sun salutation A's and B's are named after our sun, because just like the sun brings life into us through its power to our earth, bringing all sorts of nature to grow, we remind ourselves that we have a similar power to breathe life into our own being, our yoga practice, through the words we speak to ourselves. Inhale, bring that left hand back in front of your face, and on your mat, reach that right hand to the sky, and then exhale, right wrist under right shoulder, hands and knees posture. Inhale, let's take it to the other side, reach those left fingertips to the sky, and then exhale, thread the left hand under the right arm, and walk that hand to the front, or you can leave the right hand right there in front of your face. And we'll be here for a few breaths. Using our breath as our tool as well. Perhaps our heart was beating rather fast with all of those sun A's and sun B's. As we got our cardio going, we can use our breath as our tool to bring us back into a place of control. Slow the heart rate down. Deep inhales, even longer exhales. On your next inhale, go ahead and walk that right hand back in front of your face if it was extended. Plant the hand into the mat. As you inhale, you're reaching those left fingertips to the sky. And then as you exhale, planting it back underneath your shoulder. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale, hips go high. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Three-legged dog. Exhale, shift forward. Step that right foot between your hands and stay on the ball of your back toes. And if you need to, heel toe this front foot out to the right side of your mat to give your hips a little more space to balance. When you find the stance that's right for you, inhale carries you up for a crescent lunge, balancing on the ball of those left toes, driving into that right heel, and tucking the tail so we have space for our lower back. We're not dumping our weight into our low back here. We're keeping that vulnerable part of our spine protected. And we begin this journey of balance right here in our crescent pose that requires that one pointed focus. Perhaps you set your gaze at a point in front of you to establish that balance. Inhale, hands reach to the sky, and then exhale, draw your hands to your heart in prayer and lean forward. Find a new point to set your gaze with your eyes. And on your inhale, you lift your left foot behind you for third warrior, balancing on that right foot, driving through that left heel just like we do in our three-legged dog, keeping the hips square. That strong leg helps us to balance here. One last inhale here. One last exhale here. And then inhale. We hinge up. We come to stand in Tadasana. We lift that left knee to our chest. And then exhale. Drape the left knee over our right knee. Eagle legs, just like we did on our back. Inhale, arms reach to the sky. And then exhale, wrap the left elbow under the right. For a single or double wrap, we sit down into eagle pose. Now our forearms are in front of our face. How do we find a point to set our gaze when we're getting in our own way? How do we jump back into this focus when we fall out? Sometimes life throws us curveballs like that, and we have to bring ourselves back to the truth and believe what we say. Believe in the goodness we speak over ourselves. We are full of goodness. Inhale, unwrap the arms, unwrap the legs, draw the left knee to the chest. Then exhale, hands draw to your heart in prayer. Tilt out, draw that left foot back, third warrior, and then drop step those toes behind you. Crescent pose, arms reach. And then exhale, turn out, warrior two. Nicely done, everyone. We're lunging into that front foot. And our back foot spins flat, so the blade edge is parallel to the short edge of our mat. And we're drawing out across our collarbones, feeling even in our feet. That focus now of our gaze rests on our fingertips. Inhale, flip your right palm. Draw it up and overhead, peaceful warrior. And then exhale, rest your right elbow on your right knee. Left fingertips to the sky. Reaching up, gaze up. Tucking that right hip under, spinning it underneath us. Inhale, draws all the way back to peaceful warrior. And then exhale, warrior two, straighten your front right leg. Heel toe that back foot in just a little bit. And then as you inhale, kick the left hip to the back of the mat, reach out with those right fingertips, and then exhale. Side fold down into triangle pose. And you may want to grab a block, placing the block on the outside of your foot or the inside of your foot if you like, or you can rest your hand on your shin, still tucking that hip underneath. From this firm foundation of both feet, reach up with that left hand. Inhale, gaze down at those toes in front of you. And then place the gaze a foot in front of your toes. Aim your right hand or grab the block and aim the block. And begin to bend into that right knee as we lift up the back foot, placing the right hand on the mat. We come into half moon. Still driving through that left foot. Still reaching to the sky through our left hand. Still hopping back into the pose and trying again if we fall. One last inhale here. And then exhale, bending the right knee, gently drop back into warrior two. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, spin the hands all the way to the mat. Step back to plank. Take your vinyasa. Wiping the slate clean. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Wonderful. And bringing with us that beginner's mind, that no matter what happens now that we're going to engage with the left side, things are never the same way twice. We could always be surprised. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, left knee to the heart. Step between your hands. And set up your crescent stance. We're going to balance on the ball of our back right toes. So if you need to heel toe that left foot to the left, absolutely go for it. Your inhale carries you high when you're ready. Reaching up, lunging into that left foot. And we begin. We drop in. We practice that one-pointed focus. Our yoga practice prepares us for life off the mat. It teaches us how to fiercely focus. As we practice that gaze, that drishti, we learn how to also focus our mind. It gives us the tools we need to carry us back to thoughts we want to cultivate and let go of whatever we don't need any longer. One last inhale. And then exhale, hands draw to heart. Lean out over your left knee. And then, once you're ready, once you're focused, once you've set your gaze, lift those right toes off the mat. Drive through the right heel. Warrior 3. Balancing here. Feeling strong, dropped in, and focused. Inhale here. And exhale here. On your inhale, hinging up, drawing the right knee to your chest. Balancing here, one-legged Tadasana. Inhale and exhale. Wrap the right leg over your left for single or double wrap. And then wrapping the right elbow underneath the left for eagle pose. Sitting down into this posture. Forearms in front of the face. And breathing. Are you still breathing full and deep? Have you concentrated so much you forgot to breathe? It's possible. It happens. We can never be so hard that we forget our softness. We can never be so rigid that we forget our ease. Inhale, unwrap the arms, draw the right knee to the chest, and then exhale, hands to heart. Press through the right heel, tilting out. Finding your balance for third warrior. Inhale, drop, step those toes back. Reach in crescent pose. And then exhale, turn out into warrior 2. Driving through the blade edge of that back right foot and the front left heel. We find our stance. We find our expansion through the chest. The arms spread wide. And we find that one-pointed focus once again at those fingertips. As we move through this practice of balance and of dropping in, our focal point changes. Also reminds us that as life takes us through different seasons, sometimes we have to make that pointed effort to bring ourselves back to what matters, to that goodness, right? Inhale, flip the palm and draw it back, peaceful warrior. Exhale, extended side angle, left elbow to right knee, reach through those right fingertips. Inhale, draws us back once again, peaceful warrior. And then exhale, pass through warrior 2. Straighten the left leg, heel toe the back foot in. And then inhale, kick the right hip to the back of the room. And exhale, tilt down from the side. We reach up, triangle pose. Tucking our left hip under. And if it's available for your neck, gazing up at those fingertips, reaching through your sky. Feeling firm through your feet. And if you feel shaky in your stance, try really pressing the ball of that right big toe into the mat. Does that help a little bit? You feel more stable here. Giving yourself that firm foundation to reach skyward. On your inhale, gaze down at your toes. And then find a point, a foot in front of those toes to set that gaze. Commit to it. We are here and now. Aim your left fingertips or the block to that point and then reach up with the back right foot. Place your hand in that spot and spread wide. Half moon pose. Catch all those rays. Catch all that glory. One last inhale here. And then exhale, gently bending the left foot. We drop back into warrior two. Draw the left hand high, peaceful warrior. And then exhale, window the hands down. Step back to plank. Lower through chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. We did it. You're so strong. Great job. One last inhale here. And then exhale, lower your knees to the mat. You come to kneel, standing on your knees. We'll open through the heart once again. Place your both hands, on your hips here, like you're sliding your hands into two jean pockets. And press into those hands. Allow the elbows to draw behind you. Inhale, lift the heart up like there were a string tied to your sternum, pulling it skyward. As you lean into those hands, you could stay here, or you could drop the hands to your heels with your toes tucked or untucked for camel pose, and keep that string tugging at your breastbone to the sky. Like if you were to let go of those heels, you would just fling forward. Inhale, drawing the breath in. Exhale, allowing it to go. On your next inhale, bring your hands back to your hips. Come up out of your camel pose. Nicely done. Sit down onto your heels and then send them out to one side. And then out in front of you. Go ahead and get settled here with your legs out in front. When you're ready, on your inhale, arms come to the sky. And then exhale, fold out. Forward fold. And allow that rounding to come to your back here. After we open so bravely through our heart, this rounding is a nice counter pose. Our camel pose as we lift our chest to the sky is so symbolic of how we open our heart to send love out to others. And as our shoulder blades draw away from one another in this forward fold, and we open through the back of the heart, reminds us that we equally need to receive love to have something to give. Spending a couple moments here, maybe even eyes closed. Coming back to your intention. Reminding yourself of your compliment you gave. I invite you to think of a person, maybe someone in your life who you love very deeply, or maybe someone in your life that you know could use some goodness, especially now. Inhale, remember that compliment you gave yourself. And then exhale, send that compliment out. Send out that good energy to this person. Inhale. And as you exhale, imagine you're sending them every good wish, every good feeling that you could possibly offer. One last inhale. And one last exhale. Sending this gift of goodness out to your loved one. Inhale, mindfully come back out of your forward fold. We'll come to lay on our backs, revisiting our Supta Baddha Konasana. Bring the soles of your feet together. Left hand on the heart, right hand on the belly. And I invite you to imagine, once again, that compliment. I am full of goodness. And the good feelings that accompany those words. I invite you to imagine those words, the energy that they hold, were like a warm light. And that light was surrounding your whole body, your whole being, holding you, carries her child and protects them and nourishes them with the goodness of her own body. Allow this goodness to hold you. And then as you inhale, allow that light to expand. Allow that light to spread, to hold your home or the space where you're practicing today. And as you inhale, allow that goodness to spread, to hold your community, the people that live there, the local businesses, the people who serve you and that you serve. And as you inhale again, allow it to continue to grow until this warm light, this warm energy holds your home, your community, your country, your world, and send that goodness out. This time of year, we remind ourselves to have goodwill to all people, to spread compassion, to spread kindness. And we become vessels of this goodness as we pour that goodness into ourselves, allow others to pour that goodness into ourselves. We become larger and larger vessels to then share that goodness with as many people as we can. Inhale here. And then exhale, allow those images to dissolve. Send your legs out long, gently coming out of your Supta Baddha Konasana. And allow the palms of your hands to shine to the sky as your arms lay alongside your body for Shavasana. And here we let go. We trust the work we did in our practice today. We trust ourselves in the moment. And we surrender. We allow ourselves to be someone who is lying in Shavasana. And that is enough. Going deeper and deeper into ourselves. For several moments of stillness here. Gentle means wiggling your toes today, your fingertips. A gentle, mindful awakening out of the deepness. Maybe that's a full body stretch with your arms reaching over your head, reaching for the toes, the fingertips, and drawing the breath in deep like you're waking up for the first time, and you truly are out of that deep meditation. Come to meet in our cross-legged seat, but at your own time, perhaps you roll over to one side to a fetal position and rest your head on your arm. Caring for yourself. When you're ready, we'll meet in our cross-legged seat, eyes closed. our heart. The light and the goodness in me honors and acknowledges the goodness and the light within you. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I hope that this class was able to shine some goodness into your life during this busy time. And I hope you enjoyed all that we got to experience today relating to our sneak peek of Yoga Immersion. Again, if this course is something that you think would help you, would be of service to you, I encourage you to check out my website, racheliscozy.com, or the link that will be posted in this video. We begin January 8th on the Hill at Personal Space Fitness, and I can't wait to see you there. But until next time, it was wonderful to be able to guide us in this practice together. Bye-bye.